Water is running 20 square meters per second, and it runs usually 0.3 square meters per second, so it's pretty high. Salem Creek. Operations level 1, Swiftwater, Equinox. Oh.
River right is always your right-hand side when you're facing downstream. So if I'm looking upstream, river right is still over here. Even though this is my left, it's still the river's right. It's like your right hand. No matter where you're facing, your right hand is your right hand. Okay. If I look at you and do this, I'm asking you, if you are okay, you return my signal. If you're not okay, you're probably going to be in a panic, so I'll get the idea that you're not okay. If you require first aid and you've got enough manual dexterity, this cross is like the red cross. If you can't do that, or your arm or your shoulder's broken, just think, no, I'm not okay, I'm dying. Having said that, when we're role-playing, we do not do that vocally. I don't want anybody yelling help. I don't want anybody yelling save me. I don't want any, hey, no, I've got a problem. Now, when we go to do something, I have to check, or the safety spotter checks for oncoming river traffic. And when there is no river traffic, the spotter will signal that everything is clear. This is not okay. This is clear. It's different. So if I'm running a scenario and I look at my upstream spotter and I do this, I'm asking you, is the river clear upstream? Okay, it's clear. Now I look downstream at the downstream safety. You're clear, so you return my signal. Once everybody's good to go, I'll say okay and we can go. That is stop. If you have something in your hand, one hand is good enough, but that is stop. Stop. Not okay, do not proceed, stop. So if I look at my upstream spotter and I go like this, you look upstream and there's a kayak coming, no, we're not good to go. I see your outstretched hand, I'll return the signal, I'll look to extend my reach quite substantially. So I'm asking you, is it clear, or I'm telling you it's clear, or I am saying to you, stop. I want you to go here. I want you to go here. So point away from the hazard, or point to where you want the swimmer or the rescuer to go. So if I see a hazard in the river I'm aware of and I'm coaching you down the river, I want you to go river left. I want you to go river right. Same thing with a paddle. Use the blade. Point. Okay, no, I mean more. Ferry river left. Ferry river right. Whistle signals. Excuse me. One blast of the whistle. All I want you to do is look at me. Okay? So I'm just gonna move. However, if I want you to stop what you're doing, that just means stop and look at me. We don't have a problem, just stop and look at me, because I need to redirect you or correct something or give you further instruction. One whistle signal, look at me. Two whistle signals, stop and look at me. Three whistle signals, I will not demonstrate. Three whistle signals, three blasts of a firearm, three blasts of the air horn on a fire truck. Three of anything is an emergency or some sort of a bad situation. So we don't even do it in training. Don't sweat it until tomorrow at lunch when we talk about knots. There are two trains of thought. Some people like a clean end and moving water, so if you get to the end of your rope, it flows through. Some people like the knot, so if you get to the end, you know you're at the end. Or if you need to add on, you've already got the loop. After a lot of debate, we have decided at Advanced Rescue that we're going to go with the knot at the end of the throw bag. Now, throwing a throw bag at a patient in moving water requires some thought here, because you're dealing with the mass of the patient multiplied by the velocity in the moving water plus the force added by the moving water. So you do a hip belay. Hold the bag in the downstream side. Put it behind you. Put both ropes in your non-throwing hand. Do not wrap it around your hand. Do not wrap it around each other. If something goes wrong, you let go, it just falls off, and somebody else worries about it. But you do not want to make yourself a patient, because now your patient has lost the rescuer, and the backup team has to look after the patient, plus you, because you now have become another patient. So if we just do a simple hip belay to the downstream side, it will not try to spin you in the water. If you belay to the upstream side, it will try to turn you around and pull you off balance. So there's your hip belay. Open the bag. Tell it, sir, I'm going to throw you a rope. Okay, make sure you say rope. Easy. Grab the rope, sir. Grab the rope. Grab the rope, sir. Hold it over your shoulder like this. Now, at this point, you have dropped down to one knee, or both. I don't care which. Your partner has grabbed your PFD strap, pull you into the water. Okay, so you can brace your feet, lean back, and let the current swing the patient into shore. You don't have to do this unless there isn't enough current to do it for you. In most cases, this will just ferry the patient in. Thank you. Just drop. It's making this. Okay? I'm not making that. So watch carefully. To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. Patient's only 30 feet away. Don't waste the time bringing in all 75 feet of the bag. Okay, there's 15, roughly 1 foot each. There's my 30 feet. Get back into your hip belay if you've got time. This one here is not a pretty throw. Just do what you got to do to get it out there. Rope. Okay.
Taking a step. Set. Taking a step. Set.
Set. Set.
Let's take it away.
Set. And you'll find that that is an occupational hazard with the one size fits all. You can't trim this because then it's not one size fits all. So if you're a smaller person, you're going to have lots of this sticking out, and it tends to catch on stuff. So just get into the habit of checking your quick release once in a while, or your partner should be looking for that. Turn around. For yesterday I said ignore the front knee. This is for ice rescue, and Salis is the only one so far that has one. In your world right now this doesn't exist. So what you do is, I said yesterday, when you're tethered for water entry, you're tethered on the back. Would you undo that bag there, please, and hand me the... If you're out in current, you're going to be tethered. If you become tangled now, you see, this is a liability. You have to be tethered in moving water, but now that you're tethered, this is kind of a liability to you, because if it becomes tangled, what will happen is you'll stop, and let's just go in the right orientation here. Face down straight. Okay, that's good, right there. So you're out in the current, and this becomes fouled, like around my leg, for instance. What's going to happen is you stop dead, and this is going to start pushing you over. Just stay there. Now, the current is going to hold you like that, and if it's deep enough, and if there's enough velocity, it's actually going to push you underwater. You've got to get out of it. So what I want you to do is put a big belay around your hips, and then Kim, back him up. Scott, back up Kim. I want you to lean into this really hard. Now, when we demonstrate this, you want to be an arm's length away from the subject, because when it releases, this can fly out in an arc and it'll hurt. When you're ready, I want you to lean into that with all your weight, find this thing, and release it. Okay? Hard, real hard. Okay, release it. Okay? Perfect. Okay, come on back up. Bring Rick Wilson's ring there. We're going to do this in the current. Now this is not mandatory on the shore and watch. If you want to try actually releasing yourself in current, what we're going to do is we're going to put Rick in one eddy and me in the other eddy. Be a couple of you upstream for a good hip belay on a rope. The subject, the student will clip on. People on shore are going to do a quick buddy check, make sure everything's good to go. You'll sit down in the current and assume the defensive swim position. When you reach the end of the rope, you're going to stop dead, and immediately you will feel the current trying to push you underwater. Now, two things. If you want, release immediately. If you want to experience what that pinning effect is like, then you're welcome to hang out there for a minute and allow yourself to be held. But if that's the case, I want you to continually give Rick and I the sign that we know that you're doing it and that you're not being held by the current or by an obstruction, okay? So as long as I see this, you can hang out there. If this is not what's happening, I need to see this. If you pull and you don't release, we need to see this because Rick and I will come out and get you, okay? Now, if I want two people up there on belay and I want one person up there at any one time, Paul T and if anything goes wrong, everybody that's not up there is a downstream safety. Rick and I will be the first two rescuers. If anything happens there to the subject, Rick and I will go in. If anything else goes wrong, everyone else automatically into the rescue mode. You're going to form a wedge, you're going to come out, you're going to assist us to extricate the person. Paul and Rick and I have run that a few times. There's a possible foot entrapment upstream, you're not going to be near it. Down here, in that current vector, just downstream of the bridge, is where you should hang up, and right there is a good, clear current vector. Lots of velocity, lots of energy to hold you, no obstructions to trap you. Now, is everybody cool with this? Does anybody not want to do it? Who wants to do it first?
That was good.
Vibration breathing.
Hands on the bottom one. Work your way up.
Give me okay!
Can you cross it? If we cross back here, you can get the other. Is there someplace to stand on the other side, though?
Oops. Going in for the rescue.
Paddle.
Are you hurt, sir? No. You're doing good. You're doing good. We're going to try and pull you out if you can remain calm, sir. All right? One.
Just down through under the back.
One to the bottom, sir.
Good.
Go in further. You can go.
Now you're in a shithole because you got no paddle and we're not touching. Yeah, okay, you better get going then.
Our patient is able to walk. There you go. Does anyone have a blanket or a sheet?
Rope was tossed across the river and use a ring.
They were really intense. One guy in the front of the boat usually was trying to hold the boat's location with the pole, and then the guys in the back of the boat were searching the water. You're working and the time is going fast, but then, you know, while you're keeping track, and it just seemed like it had been too long for any type of survivable rescue. The boy had been under more than 30 minutes. The light was failing, the temperature was dropping rapidly, and hope was wearing thin. It was getting dark. There was some talk about who was going to call these rescue attempts and make it a body recovery either that night still or later on. But one of the firemen had read about cold water drowning. He knew that a few children had survived more than half an hour without breathing if the water was cold enough. Exhausted. I couldn't even hang on to the phone anymore. I just kept telling them, we still got time. We still have time. Harold was the biggest backer out there, and they said, we still got time. We still got time. He kept saying, I didn't know if we had any more time. I didn't know if the boy had any more time. We had all night, but I didn't know if the boy had any more time. I felt something unusual in the middle hole. Something soft, something missing. He was blue almost to the point of being purple. He was like picking up a water balloon.
Up there. They now got the personnel across and manning the rope. about keeping the rope away from the...
It's clipped onto this half-inch static line. This is a floating rope. The buoy here is just to keep this whole rig from sinking down and getting fouled up in the outside. There's no propeller, as you know, but it still gets fouled around there and it makes it hard to steer. So that's all the life buoy is for, is just to float the rigging. Now, give me the front of the Zodiac. Remember last week when we tied the international stretcher basket? We made the double figure made on a bite that had the long loop and the short loop. And we made, I said, a self-equalizing kit. We just got a very big one here. Not this boat. Coming from Zodiac. So we do another one of those short, long, double figure made on a bite. And they go to the small E-rings that are at water level on the Zodiac. E-ring on the nose. And with a carabiner with a short loop on the knot. So again, we've got that self-equalizing kit. So no matter how this pulls, it's just going to slide around. Okay? Probably about 40 feet between the two boats. You would adjust that. I mean, if you only had 15 or 20 feet until you hit shallow water, that's what you'd have to set it at.
And Mac, with that strap there, if you had to turn out or something, that's not going to hit that gear shifter, or that's not going to bend that rod?
It doesn't seem to, Bruce. Like even when it's under tension, it hits here and it hits the motor. It does touch this.
Yeah, okay.
But it touches the motor too, so it really doesn't put a lot of pressure on that.
Right rope is now being connected. They're going to be dropping off two staff to manage that rope for River Right. River Right man is now on the bank. They're now heading back to center. We got our anchoring system here. 1, 2. Connect this way. And that's our main line. Here for the course.
I'll have you on cheap, okay?
And he has his dry suit on, essential in this cold weather.
Hey, stay downstream with the rope. Your bow upstream. Downstream with your bow upstream.
That's the position you want. Bow is upstream. The wind's really picking up here. River left handler. crossing the river with the team. Line crossing. Right on his belly.
By the way, guys,
He's right in the eddy. He wanted to swim in the eddy and he makes it. It's an aggressive swim. Circular turn, they turn crossing the stream with a group. Defensive swim, feet are up. Aggressive swim inside the eddy. Padded okay. You want him on his stomach, not on his back.
now the simulation of the rescue with the swim board. There's our swimmer. He's entering the water. There's our rescuer. Put the fins on. Making contact. Okay, pulling the victim up onto the board. The swimmer is also now securing himself, and there's a signal to haul in. And now there's two on shore tending the lines. And
yeah, that wasn't directed at you. What's that rock?
and that is the rescue board. What we have here is a foot entrapment simulation. There's our gentleman with the foot entrapment. And the team, first team just did the amoeba across, throwing the rope back to the team on the shore. And now they're going to attempt to snag this gentleman's foot with the rope in order to free his entrapment. They're going to move upstream to really get a little force. Now they got a team on this side working away, trying to stabilitate them, simulating we're in deeper water. This way the gentleman doesn't flop over. He now has something to hold on to. has the rope secure. Now he can lean against it without falling forward. The team's now going to try to secure the patient with another rope, clip to the secure line, and now that way they'll be able to hook him in there so they have full control of the trap. And there goes the throw. A little short. And they're going to try for another throw. There's another throw. Back to the action here. The two teams now have it secured. There's a rope across. They've got the rope on. Foot entrapment. Yeah. Foot entrapment victim. He's got his foot trapped. We've got the one secure line that now he can lean against and not fall forward if he was simulating deeper water. The team has now, river team has thrown another line over. The shore team, they've carabined it, and now they're going to pull in, and now this is going to secure and trap the victim with the foot entrapment. So now they've got two ropes on him, and he's definitely secure. Now they're going to attempt to throw a third rope in order to snag in front of his foot. And here comes another throw.
Well, we're getting ready for the 5-day course. Cheers. Now on the Ottawa River, we're doing our river rescue course. Class 3. There's our RDC rapid deployment craft. Beautiful day. Dam River Safety.
Upstream, Mike. 45 upstream. That's it. Get on the board. hard. Hit hard, lean it out.
Now we're just stuffing a throw bag, and they just finished doing rescue boards drills. Whoa, stop.
Okay, let's get another group ready. It looks like you've got a partially unconscious patient.
You should get down low, guys. Get low. Get low. Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, body positioning, they're down. Boy, does that look like fun. Nice paddling.